minutes on the clock. We're about to see if they can do it, as Dark will kick things off for the Ospreys. Ball deep into the Florida Poly end. They've got to get this out of the zone sooner rather than later, because as much as we say, okay, they can compete, they can put up a fight, you do not want to let this Stockton team kind of snowball the advantage and get a long boot starve going on the opening kickoff.
Yep, you really don't want to let them have space. Gino going for a big dunk, and right now some early pressure from Stockton. Phoenix is slowly working their way out. And a little bit slow there from Dezu means again they find themselves pushed back, so not the world's strongest opening for Florida Poly.
Dark narrowly avoids running that ball right into Gino, as Gino Kopp had that taken away by Dezu. Set up for Bobstow, and Florida Poly has the lead. Looky here.
And talk about making the best of a bad situation. Double commit there. Dezu takes one away from Rex, but he's got a plan. He sees Bobstow waiting out at the top of the box, dishes it out, and is able to turn one into the far left-hand side. So despite not the strongest first minute, they end up on the board right at the end of it.
Dezu giving some time in the corner, but Dark is right there. And now Gino, he had to at least respect the touch, but a big whiff gives Stockton a chance. Ooh. And Rex somehow kept that out.
That was one that
Yikes.
Kind of makes you scratch your head if you're on the Stockton side of things. You're wondering what even happened for him to be able to be in that position. And Stockton going to be disappointed that one didn't find its way in between the goalposts.
Gino met by Bobstow. Boy, can you imagine if Florida Poly opens up a 2-goal lead, having this game start the way it has. But now things seem to have stabilized for Stockton. It is Dark looking to set up Gino. Got him, and we're tied.
Can always trust Gino Kopp to come in and win the ball in a tight race to it. Dodges a demo in the midfield. Bobstow's coming at it from a tough angle. Still not a lot to work with there for Gino Kopp, but like you said, can't sleep on those ex-RLCS Pro players. I believe Subi was talking about that on the desk. He shows you exactly why. He snipes a tight window.
Neither team with a 20-goal scorer as we come up around the midway point of the season. Bobstow playing this one out. It's going to be centered for Gino. Now Bussy tracking, waiting for a whiff, and he got a couple. And Bobstow had to come in to save the day and start the attack downfield. Can he do this all himself? Oh, he got the dunk, but it goes wide.
Oh, wow. Gino, what a beautiful recovery to take away what could have been a dangerous follow-up from Florida Poly on that transition. Getting that extra touch as he followed that ball across the net. Important. And Rex, huge miss, open net for Gino, and they beat it. They punch it off the post. Oh, no.
Yikes. And then they almost had numbers coming back the other way. If any members of FPU had any more boost, it may indeed be 2-1 Florida Poly. But if is quite a big word in the dictionary. This is going to be just wide from Rex, who's looking for the double. Big stop by Bobstow to kind of switch fields, but Dezu had a real tough time reading that ball. Here goes Gino, trying to delay for time, give his teammates time to come up and support him on the attack. Bussy is there, but met by Rex, who's there just a little bit faster. More and more pressure coming out now from Stockton, who find themselves in a battle here in Game 1, though it's at times felt like more of a series of unfortunate events. Here's a shot from Gino. Ooh. That's going to sail high. Follow-up is blocked, and Gino has to chase this one down back by his own goal line.
Oh, nice job working it through two, though. He's not done. He will leave it for Bussy, but Gino is going to be a very important piece for solidifying that defensive rotation for Stockton.
This could be awkward now as Stockton's going to be given some time and space to get downfield. Gino landed solidly on the wall. Got a shot off, but nobody else there to force that ball home. So here goes Dezu. Final minute of Game 1. Did keep control, but easily stopped by Dark. Bobstow going to at least have a look. Well, you just get into a game like this and you are one errant challenge or a weird 50-50 away from perhaps losing this game. Bussy.
Ooh.
Right around one. Does he have a slip reset? I think he might have even been looking for the ground pitch. It didn't matter. Dark comes in to finish the job, and that's all because, geez, it looked like, well, actually, who was it? Yeah, it looked like it was Bussy. Just kind of froze the defense.
Yeah, they were definitely worried about Bussy continuing that play and going for that flip reset. He pulled the defender off the wall. I think he was actually going to get the flip reset, but he ended up getting bumped by the guy challenging him, and the person in the net was expecting some form of contact, so they were a little slow to react to the ball just falling onto the ground, and Dark was able to beat him to it.
There is that awkward challenge. It does go towards the net, but Bussy's up to the task. Try to bring this ball out of the zone and kill off more of this 30 seconds. And Rex barely makes one save. Demos come out left, right, and center. And after all that, Dezu comes away with the ball, and Rex was looking for Bussy. Did not get him. Ball still ends up down on the Stockton half of the field. Dark trying to delay. Oh, he let Rex go right by, so now Dezu will try. Final 3 seconds. Needs to get this ball center. It is for Bob Stowe. Rex couldn't catch up to it, and Stockton hangs on.
Rex was right on it. It was close, but just off the nose. Florida Poly, a great last-second push. But Stockton, like you said, able to just hang on, and I think you put it right on the money before this one started, Stacks. 2-1, a smattering of shots for both teams. 6 for Stockton, 4 for Florida Poly, and it is going to just be contest after contest. And we really saw a lot of some odd mistakes from defenses that led into some dangerous transitions, but at the end of the day, it was Stockton able to convert the couple of extra chances they got.
I mean, some matchups, especially out west, look like, well, Wild West shootouts. And then sometimes you come over to the East Coast, and you got some teams that when they meet up, it's more like a Neanderthalian rock fight, where they're just throwing sticks and stones at each other, and eventually something lands. 2-1 the score as both teams had to battle against some very tough defense. Dezu's actually inadvertently put that towards his own net. That forced Rex into the air. And now Bob Stowe trying to keep pace with Dark. And boy, that's a great job by Dark opening things up.
Wow.
But there's Dezu after the demolition by Rex.
Hello, Rex. He's just playing support in the midfield there and says, Gino's on the goal line. Let's go get rid of him real quick. Fortunately for him, he's got teammates ready and waiting in the midfield for that opportunity, and they convert an easy one.
And then Rex cheating up aggressively, but he was met by a cheat on the other side as well. Now Gino, great pass over to Dark. Easy money.
That's basically the same goal, except without the demo. I mean, this is just kicked into the midfield. You might as well act like Dezo got demoed there because he was not going to make it. That hard cut from Gino, so good. Wide open for him in the middle.
Back and forth they go in the first 30 seconds, and now we basically just restart the game. Ball bounces off of Bussy over towards the opposite corner. But he's got a lot of boost to play with as he brings us downfield. One more touch to center, but that's well defended by Rex. Bussy stays with the play. Got one more to deal with. It's Bob Stowe under a lot of duress on the backboard. And Gino can just play this with the Batmobile floater on target. No. And Dezu, I think, was caught out looking for boost.
Yep, you're definitely right. He's just kind of sitting here on the goal line, gets caught flipping forward, and not even caught really looking for boost. I think he maybe thought Rex was going to be on that challenge a little sooner, or was thinking maybe he could get there to that ball before Gino. Either way, just doesn't read the situation really well, pulls himself out of position, and he got punished for it. But Stockton do the same thing. Off the kickoff, Rex is able to collect one because Bussy and Gino kind of get a little tongue-tied there about who should be taking the ball. Neither of them come up with a touch, and Rex is able to recover and just put one in between the posts.
Oh, this will help the old goals per game average. Again, both teams come in under 2. They're already there after a minute. The game that, not mathematically, but certainly mentally, Florida Poly has to win to try and keep pace with Stockton in this series. Dezu will throw that off to the side. Gino is right there. What a pass over to Dark, and Dark just missed on it. It's almost like he took his eye off the ball. He'll get another go, and this time he converts.
Yep, I think Dark definitely overdrove it the first time. You're right. It definitely seemed like he was thinking about where to place it. Then we realized his approach was wrong. Gets a second opportunity, though. That's 2 that Dark has scored from a great pass from the side. This time it's Bussy, and Dark shows that he can also find a tight window.
Not often you get a mulligan so quickly as Dark did, and then he forces that ball right through. Gino coming on, and Stockton starting to feel it.
Beneficiary off the kickoff. I mean, Dark just gets a real favorable challenge. Bob Stowe, it's not necessarily a bad idea to play a real aggressive near post defense there, because it doesn't look like a challenge can go horribly wrong, but that one had just enough pace it got over his head too fast.
Bussy to meet this ball in the corner, and he still forced that by Dezu, and at least got a piece of Bob Stowe to kind of throw him off, but Rex will chase this ball downfield. Got a full tank of boost, but did not get the ball with it.
Ooh.
Does bounce out for Bob Stowe. Bank shot off the ceiling, and that's a big clear from Dark, and they would have had numbers if Rex wasn't there. Bob Stowe beaten out by Gino as Stockton continues to try and pour it on and try to break down Florida Poly.
Oh, nice.
Bussy is there, and the lead balloons to 3 goals.
This is just a real awkward one to handle for Rex. He's forced to hit the brakes on the sidewall and just trying to come down as that ball is falling in front of you and try and keep the car behind it, and then you realize that you got to actually get in between the ball and the goal frame because it's going to fall there. It's just such an awkward scenario to be put in when you're not able to keep a constant pace, and Rex just let it get too far.
Dezu trying to get around Bussy, and it's almost like he was just reading his soul. No chance to get that ball across the center line. Now Bob Stowe will. Oh, he kind of got clipped, I think, from behind by Dark, but still managed to get the ball downfield. Still chances now for Florida Poly until now. My goodness, what a read.
What in the world? He got bumped up the sidewall, falls off the ceiling, and destroys that man. Oh my goodness. What in the world is that?
Well then, sure, we'll go with it. It is now 6-2. One of these teams has cranked up the scoring, almost 6-3, but the save is made. Now Gino can spring Bussy downfield. Gino to follow, and you just get the feeling that Florida Poly has just abandoned all hope on the defensive end.
One of those classic games where it starts off good, a couple of weird ones happen one way or the other, and then Stockton just start to pull away just that little bit. And then as soon as that dunk came out from Bussy, then you're like, okay, they've checked out of game 2. they're waiting on game 3.
Well, the good news is, in about 2 minutes, which may go by in about 5, they'll get another 5 minutes on the clock, and it'll be a fresh start. Dark coming on. Boy, they're just going to run it up.
Oh, my goodness.
Who was it last night that was asking what the record was? Was it Nova that was asking what
Nova.
the record for goals in a best of 5? They didn't come anywhere close. These guys
They did not.
could turn it up.
Nova had to absolutely fight tooth and nail for their win last night. It was not an easy win for them, but Stockton having a phenomenal game.
Oh my goodness,
here.
this is going to go in. No, Bob Stowe barely got there, but there's
it's
just
still in.
nobody there to stop them. 9-2.
What did you say, Stacks? This is going to be 2 minutes that last like 5?
Oh.
Well, it's only been 20 seconds since you said that in game, and Stockton have scored 2 goals. And that's what I was talking about before the series even started. It's one that you feel can get out of hand real quick, and that is exactly what has happened here in Game 2.
Florida Poly's inaugural graduating class back in 2017 had 14 students. By the end of this game, these 3 players are going to join them. Good Lord, it's a game that just won't end. Another opportunity, another score, 10 ball in the side pocket.
Wow. I mean, what are you going to do when you're Dezu here? You got to try and take that ball across, but when you're under pressure from Bussy, you can't really control it as well as you like. And Dark has you read like he checked you out of the library last week. He already knew what was going.
Boy, you do not see score lines like this very often in either the RLCS or in CRL. Gino has Dark running interference. Rex tried to read, and he could not make it 11. That is 5 goals for Gino.
Oh, what a great play from Gino. 1, faking the hard touch with the short hop and then landing, and 2, faking the cut back while Rex has to think about getting demoed. Gino smart enough to just let the ball roll.
Bussy looking for more for the highlight reel, but instead he's met up in the air, and that's about the only grace. Oh, that ball almost found Dark. He was kind of squirrely going through there.
You know, if you're looking to pass the ball to anyone, it's going to be Dark. He's hit so many good ones from the passes out into the middle of this game that I would throw him just about anything right now.
Yeah,
and there you go.
Coach Achieves, or Goach Achieves, has figured it out. Florida Poly has not figured out how to stop these guys. 12-2.
And you know why that was so smart from Bussy? It was actually that little tap on the brakes that made the defense think, oh, maybe he doesn't have this as clean as we would think. And then as soon as they saw, oh, you're kidding. Wow. Well, you said it already, you know? You don't see score lines like this very often. But the good news is, I feel like more often than not, whenever a game happens like this, the next game, the other team tends to win. I feel like that's happened so many times. The one that sticks in my mind right now was that flip side playoff match where they like blew them out 10-1, and then they just got crushed next game. And it's like, you can't spend it all here.
Well, the only drama now is, will Bussy join the 5-goal club? It doesn't look like it. Down to 15 seconds. They tried to set him up, and Bob still was having none of it. Just, I mean, maybe a bit therapeutic, and if this goes in, there's no way. Absolutely no way.
Okay.
Oh, hey, there's a save. One of very few from Florida Poly. 17 shots, 13 goals, and a partridge in a pear tree. Stockton just dominates game 2. That is, like, above the community tournament level Achieves. Okay, sure, Fibion happened, but outside of that, that's the biggest blowout I've ever seen.
Yeah, this level of destruction has not happened in a long time, and it's not often you see a 1,000-point game in 5 minutes either.
No.
Almost 2, Gino at 966, so really, that's quite a game for your goals per game average on the season.
Yeah, no kidding.
You can accept this one if you're Stockton, but you really got to refocus here, because it is easy to check out moving into Game 3 here. And you know Florida Poly are being like, next game is not going to go anything like that. And I really think Florida Poly is going to dig their heels in.
Yeah, this is where, you know, we talked about Florida Poly being a team of competitors. This is where you find out what you've got competitively on your roster. How does Florida Poly answer back after an 11-goal difference in Game 2, and clearly a game that simply got out of hand very early on? Can they answer back now with a clean slate starting Game 3? What a save, and another to go with it!
You love the play from Dezu there. Dark going real aggressive, though, trying to score that himself. He had Gino in the midfield, but his ability to even put that ball on target is what I think created that chance, because I don't think anybody thought Dark was going to try and score it.
Bussy will throw this over to the corner. That's a miss by Bob Stowe. Does pinch this all the way downfield. That'll send Dark back. Loose ball out in front. Rex's shot's a little wide. It won't create any kind of a rebound opportunity. But now Desu will just get another look. Followed up by Bob Stowe, and Florida Poly's got the lead.
Yeah, I think Dark got a little tied up here on the goal line. He's got plenty of boost as he's sitting here, but he just lets this one bounce. I mean, he's got 83 boost as he's rotating back. Why would you ever let that ball go over your head? You got to get up there and clear that one away. Perhaps just losing track of where people were on the pitch for a moment, and Dark gave one up.
Target practice is clearly over. Bob Stowe and Rex both go for that ball. Desu at least play it forward. A chance for Bob Stowe now to play table center for Rex. 2-0. No, it's going to be well high and wide. Now Desu at least got that ball central, and then jumped in front trying to keep this ball in the zone. Pretty desperate attempt as Dark now lobbing one up there. He got by Rex. Gino thought about it and instead doesn't burn the boost. Didn't have much to work with anyways.
And here they come. This is what you love to see if you're a Florida Poly fan. They're coming out here really putting pressure on that Stockton defense, getting them scared. As Bobstow on a nice dribble up the side. That's a great cut just outside the lines. Dezu there trying to force it home, but a nice transition for the Phoenixes. And there is indeed life. Maybe a goal. Again, just off.
Rex battling in the corner. Well up in the air. Bobstow at least kept this in as well, but finally Stockton able to break out. Dark tough angle, and he converts under the bar.
What a shot from Dark. Did he catch him on transition? I think Rex thought that he was going to have a little more time, but only 4 boost. And going to the outside of the ball there, and then flipping back into it to get it on the right side of the ball to squeeze that into the top corner. That was a much tougher shot than you thought, and Bussy's going to cut him in 2 for the kickoff goal.
Well, we've seen a few of these. Sure, they got the demolition on Gino, and he's just watching from the ether like, okay, sure. Maybe try the ball next time. 3:02 to go, and Stockton in front. They have not given up many leads in this series. Obviously, if you saw that last game, Dezu open net, but he got no pace behind it, and Dark was able to get there, and now Bussy just tried to flick over Bob. It will be a little bit wide, but he had to get to it anyways. And now for Florida Poly.
Ooh.
They've got to keep the grind going here. Dezu, shot on, saved by Bussy, but follow-up's going to come from Bobstow. Rex is there. Good idea, but didn't get the shot off.
Real great ideas. I like the idea from Florida Poly trying to just slow that progression down a little bit. See if you can throw the defense off the scent a little, because everyone's expecting you to power that off the backboard or something. And just dripping that one straight down really makes the defense think for just a second as Bussy tosses one off the wall. It will be cleared away by Rex to Dezu.
Now it is mathematically a must-win for Florida Poly to stay alive in this series. They trail by a goal with 2 minutes left now. Bussy got around 1, but that's going to slowly roll right at Rex. And just good cut by Gino. Cutting off that pass to Dezu, then Dezu gets blown up. Rex spawns ball side. Dezu literally right behind him. It's Rex's shot that's saved away.
And Bussy making a couple of real big saves here in this game alone. Dark, it's a transition. Of course, Rex there to cover up one more time, and those are crucial.
Bobstow doing all he can to try and cut off Gino, but it should be Dark. And one more touch needed, didn't get there. And Bussy had to wait just a moment. Trying to pin down Florida Poly and close out this series. Again, a much closer affair in games 1 and 3 than the game right in the middle. Dark looking for the knockout blow, doesn't get there. Follow up from Gino, that's going to be wide and outside as well, as Rex does barely win the race to that boost.
Yeah, Rex really focused on making sure he could control the ball as well as pick up the boost, and it's what allowed Stockton to buy some extra time as that's kicked towards the backboard of the Phoenixes. And again, they're just having to take so much time trying to get out of their half. It's because they want to make sure that they've got enough to make something happen when they finally get possession. Bob's still put in a weird spot. He's going to have to make a difficult save. The changeup gets him. He knew he didn't get the right touch here, and he had to dive back. And Bussy slows one down, and he goes right by it.
Yeah, that's one where you just kind of you hang your head a little bit after and go, you know what? We tried. But eventually the pressure is just a little too much. You could only play at that level for so long before finally something broke down and Stockton got another one on the board. 35 seconds left. Rex trying to get the ball centered. He couldn't. And Bussy wins that one past Bobstow as well. It will be a full tank for Dezu. At least good ball to get this ball back to midfield. Rex got another dunk. Needs some support up there with him. It's Bobstow looking to center for Dezu, and instead ball goes the opposite way thanks to a fantastic challenge out of Bussy. And that is pretty much going to do it for Florida Poly here in Game 3. The effort was there, Achieves, and you certainly tip your cap to Florida Poly as they battled back after a decisive Game 2 loss. But in the end, it is Stockton after all, and they're going to take the dub.
And that will increase F. stocks tremendously. Yep. I believe he was the only one here to pick Stockton 3-0. I thought it was maybe possible, but Florida Poly, they, like you said, gave the effort. They put in a fantastic show here against Stockton, but just didn't quite have enough on the transition game to get through those two big blockers of Bussy and Gino Kopp. Dark, of course, had a phenomenal game 2 in terms of the scoring, and setups were there for game 3 as well. And Stockton will win it quite comfortably.
Comfortably is quite the understatement. What is it, 19-4 with the total goals for
a lot to a little.
The Stockton Ospreys channeling their inner Talon as their mascot, who's certainly well with them here. I mean, what is this? Look at these goals. What is it, 7 for Dark? I think Gino finished with 7 as he scored that last goal at the end there. You do not see games like that. That deserves, for those of you that watch the CCA stream, that deserves an exclamation point bumney in the chat. Otherwise,
there we go.
With that said, we're going to move on, as I'm sure fans, casual fans of Rocket League would love for us to move on from that series. We've still got plenty more to come, and we're going to shift gears a little bit in the East. Akron and... No.
Yeah, you're right.
I was looking at the wrong thing. Akron and UCF are coming up next. Good Lord. Send us to break. I'm losing my mind.